This FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Notwithstanding this, I think there now tight acrobatic rope walking in his delivery, because you have to be careful there. And with new vision, it doesn't conflict with an old vision. You're part of, and into me absorb so totally from anything yen a citizen you perceive there one koye another okoye. Also what they swallow into that tightrope of balancing between, if you like, today's Bawumia, Dr. Bawumia, and tomorrow's Dr. Bawumia, is a very tight rope, because or you're the same party, or you're continuous. A few things that you are saying you disagree with. Come up, who station here and you be argument. Say, Kaya, I was leading that argument on the E-levy. A vice president and a presidential candidate, Bawumia Baha, Dr. Bawumia Baha, Obekay. They didn't agree with taxing the poor in relation to E-levy. And I name the party's position. I say, push E-levy through. After pushing it through, so the effect of it, is nothing to write home about. Candidate Dr. Bawumia, Aswaba Bekade, Oba Beyi Efio, which means there he was not in agreement with the policy decision of this administration in relation to E-levy. Into Obachna Obeyefio. He a tightrope na American. He a tightrope na American. Because you see, the technological leap, now using technology as the basis for interfacing with government agencies and government institutions. We talked about this concept of double taxation. That the poor person now, Otifia, Ochiane Kania, Ochia Insu, or send this, or this Sikako Maneba was school. Now, all those things, you can't there. These things, it will not augur well for your development as a nation. And from what Dr. Bawumia is saying, he agreed with us. He didn't agree with his government. But by his position as vice president, he could not exert the necessary influence. As for me, to exert influence, you don't need to be sitting in the seat to be a person to exert influence. Prof, we are aware there. You want to be aware influencers, social capital. And so by what relationship with the community and our stakeholders, we customer will be a day. Obi oha opero contest for president. Onakasani kutokumu no. Oni kapro. And so ne ideas na nim dia owo no. Otu bankrofo owo sika where they will be supporting. And if you are a vice president and many good things has been ascribed to you, then you papa e wa drinkese e wonim dia e de babua oman. Now you carry all of the different talks, symposiums, and are we now saying that the man with the great vision obey to sacrifice for his party? No influence on that. He had no influence to be able to deter people from doing aja. There onye. By his virtue, but we know that by his virtue of a vice president, you are not the financier. But you will be your friend influence and affluence.
Ain't it Nekwa is saying?
Grandpa,
So that I can go around manage my time.
Influence and affluence happen with the and I serious.
By me, the joke. It's all them management time.
Miss it, the delivery. The
Of
content
influence
of the
and
delivery.
affluence.
Grandpa, the content of delivery. Let's be honest with ourselves. Many different political parties and organizations are open their wobble ruling Ghana. Many of the ideas are whatever, no, you're good though. Many of the ideas are you good. The difference is if you trickle down economics, if you see from bottoms up and all these type of differences. But me, I'm discussing the seemingly contradictions in the whole process. Into contradiction number one, Vice President does not have power. At the same time, he's the best Vice President ever in the history of Ghana. Contradiction number one. Contradiction number two, Vice President did not agree with policies of this administration for which he is part and is the Vice President. And that he's going to turn back the clocks of time when he becomes president. And he said when the bad policies were being put in place, for which he did not agree, Wankasa. It's no or you're silent. It is now that he's going to speak. Because when you're two, I don't think that augurs well. Although you're careful in how we will push this narrative. Although you're very careful how they push this narrative. Because into me, you're part of a government system for 8 years. You take glory on one hand. But on the other side, things that did not go well, honestly, it will be tibe your chalk on those things. You can't do that. Into me, you're the margin. You must absorb all. Or that if papa na bonini na so na di shewiyem. But say, these distinctions about my Emmy, I agreed with, and me, I didn't agree with. Now say, but out like that, so forcefully, then it becomes a way. It becomes a way. Because if you are head of the economic management team, and something was not going right, you must come out. Yentihana,
So as
national organizer of MPP.
As part of the
Just
team,
now,
you were saying that
what
he should come and say
what they are told but to electricity do. The national organizer of the MPP came out blazing on all media platforms that they don't agree with this position.
So are you saying that as part of the team, no? In Kompia Bontimbekas on your money,
it's the national organizer, the national chairman, and general secretary.
The national organizer
in cabinet.
But he's not the head of the economic management team.
Yes, no, but I'm saying that the chairman of the party and the general secretary of the party.
Now, for just one question, Namiko Salanodo, are you saying you expected the Obaba out?
Oh, Grandpapa.
As
a leader, Grandpapa, you must stand up and be accounted for. This is how you hold the fort. Now it may have the necessary influence to change the course of them while you there on send offer. I'm discussing about the dichotomies. I may discuss about the tightrope, what the man is going through. I can imagine Yama all connecting and trying to build or show us a Dr. Bawumia vice president, a Dr. Bawumia party leader, and flag bearer. And I make that some of those images. Grandpa, Missy, the people are discussing that there seems to be some contradictions in some of the things that Oracle. The issue. The issue near there, the process that is being set, or a very delicate process. And I'm letting you drink today, some of the propaganda na yede man, we are rather what? Messing the man up. We are rather messing up the man. Many of the spokespersons on NPP saying that the man never agreed with e-levy. You in America, oh yeah, the spokespersons and the
well, he said
I am telling them there. The more that they say it, the more that they put their leader in a state of quandary, because you are putting him at odds with his own leader and his own team that he has worked with. When you do that now and you attempt to separate him from what is there now, you can't do it. It's better to accept and apologize. I expected that in the beginning of the speech, he would have apologized for some of the things that has not gone well. And then he goes on to lay his platform and that he will take corrective actions on many of those things. We didn't hear any apology.
Right, let me go forward. Let me move forward, please. Don Pino from Malam says Nana Ofori's argument is quite...
This FM 104.3. Who to me,